This is it, the last turn on the highway. The skyline's just a pencil line now. The gravel spits a final goodbye as the tires kiss the asphalt black. I pass the old diner, the sign's half lit, sunny side up with a missing cake. And in the glow of that pale neon, I swear I see us in the booth at 16, ordering fries and shaking the jukebox, dreaming of places we'd never seen. And now it's all gone in the rear view, shrinking down to a speck of light. Every street lamp, every memory swallowed by the oncoming night. I'm chasing a future that's painted in maybes, leaving a past that's drawn in sure lines. It's a bittersweet freedom, a heart full of goodbyes. Yeah, it's all gone in the rear view this time. There's a park where we scraped our knees, the old oak tree that held our swing, just a silhouette against the twilight, a cutout paper, forgotten thing. I drove by your house, your light was on, a yellow square in a wall of blue. I didn't stop, what would I say? Guess my compass finally points me away from you. And now it's all gone in the rear view, shrinking down to a speck of light. Every street lamp, every memory swallowed by the oncoming night. I'm chasing a future that's painted in maybes, leaving a past that's drawn in sure lines. It's a bittersweet freedom, a heart full of goodbyes. Yeah, it's all gone in the rear view this time. And the radio signal's starting to fuzz and to break. A static hip-song song we used to know. It's like the town itself is saying, for heaven's sake, just take your new dreams and go, go, go. And I press down on the gas just a little bit more. Let the tears do the thing that the words never could. 'Cause you can't look back when you're headed for a brand new dawn, even if looking back is all you thought you ever would. And gone, the water tower fades. Gone, the street where we played. me room tone, the faint, slow hum of a ceiling fan, a single, muted road piano chord hangs in the air. 3 a.m. The ceiling fan keeps its slow, patient rhythm, counting all the thoughts I can't outrun. The glow from the street lamp paints stripes on the wall, a cage of light or a ladder to climb. I trace the pattern, I memorize it all, while the rest of the world is stealing time. My heart's a metronome set to a frantic beat, in this silence that's louder than any drum. And the words in my chest feel too heavy to keep. So moon, I guess you're the only one. These are my whispers to the moon, confessions too fragile for the light of day. All the things I'm scared are coming true, and the perfect words I never say, I send them up on a silver beam through the quiet and the vast dark blue. You don't need to answer or make sense of the theme, just hold these whispers like I know you do. I rehearse the conversations I'll never have, edit my lines in this endless dark room. I'm so tired of being brave, of putting on a laugh that starts to crack by the afternoon. I tell you about the ache behind my sternum, the love that left, the friend who just moved on, the fear I'm just a chapter everyone will turn from, and you listen until the night is gone. These are my whispers to the moon, confessions too fragile for the light of day. All the things I'm scared are coming true, and the perfect words I never say, I send that up on a silver beam through the quiet and the vast dark blue. You don't need to answer or make sense of the theme, just hold these whispers like I know you do. And sometimes I wonder if you're just a rock in the sky, or if maybe you're lonely too. If you're gathering stories from every sleepless soul who has nothing but the night to see them through, and we're all just a chorus of silent pleas, a symphony of secrets, tender and true. Maybe that's the magic. You take these pieces of me and turn them into something beautiful. The first birds are stirring, a pale blush in the east. Thank you for listening, for holding my peace. Good night, moon. Good night. found you in a drawer today, tucked between the receipts and the things I meant to say. That whiteboard frame. Summer 19, we're leaning on that rusted car, your head on my shoulder, reaching for a star. You're squinting at the sun, I'm stealing a glance, caught in a moment of perfect teenage chance. We didn't wait for the smile, just the chemical truth, a blur of color, the promise of youth. We shook it like a promise, watched the image rise, a tiny perfect world before our very eyes. Now you're just a fading Polaroid, the blues are bleeding into the white, the edges softening, the details destroyed by the slow, forgiving light. I trace the lines of your silhouette, a ghost I used to know so well, a captured moment I can't forget. The time is casting its slow, sure spell on this fading Polaroid. Cherry Coke stain on your faded jeans, the dandelion crown, silly and unseen. The background's just a wash of green and blue, but every pixel held a world with you. I press my thumb against your paper face, as if I could slow down the chemical race, as if I could keep the summer in my hand, instead of just this ghost of where we stand. Now you're just a fading Polaroid, the blues are bleeding into the white, the edges softening, the details destroyed by the slow, forgiving light. I trace the lines of your silhouette, a ghost I used to know so well, a captured moment I can't forget. The time is casting its slow, sure spell on this fading Polaroid. And maybe it's better this way in the end, that the sharpest edges finally blend, the hurt gets softer, the colors run, till all that's left is the warmth of the sun that beat the picture that day. I can't remember the fight, just the way the light caught your hair. It's all almost more memory now than it's there. Fading Polaroid in my palm, a silent paper song of love that was fading to a soft sepia haze, just a fingerprint on better days. Let's get this down for the record before the final page is turned. This isn't an argument, it's just what I learned. You painted me the villain in your elegant design, a blurry silhouette to justify the line. The careful cuts you made while calling it a clean release, and framing all my anger as the evidence of peace. I watched you build the narrative with such a steady hand, a simpler, smoother version that I'd never understand. You gave me all the blame and you took the starring role, and left me here to stitch together my own shattered whole. So this is my side of the story, the one you'll never hear from your friends, the unromantic, inconvenient glory of how a beautiful thing really ends. It wasn't clean, it wasn't kind, it was a slow unraveling in the dark. But for the first time, the voice in my mind is singing my truth, but not your remark. This is my side, my side of the story. You took the matching soundtrack, the inside jokes we knew, and repurposed them perfectly for somebody new. You archived all the photos where I looked a little tired, to prove the points you needed, the one you'd been inspired to tell at dinner parties with a sympathetic sigh. But you don't get to write me off, you don't get to say goodbye to every messy the spaces you used to fill. I heard a floorboard sigh your name, and the night went still. I swear I saw your shadow from the corner of my eye, a slip of dark on the wallpaper, a shape against the sky, a flicker in the mirror as I turn to walk away. Just a trick of light and memory at the closing of the day. I pass your empty doorway, feel the cool air from within, a pocket of the past where you haven't yet grown thin. And the silence in the hallway isn't silent, not to me. It's the echo of your laughter, just a note I cannot see. 'Cause you're the ghost in the hallway, a whisper in the walls, a scent of rain and cedar in the empty upstairs halls. You're the chill on the staircase, the catch inside my chest, a beautiful, persistent, and quiet kind of unrest. You don't rattle any chains, you don't mean to bring me pain. You're just a habit of the heart in this house where you remain, my ghost in the hallway. I've rearranged the furniture, I've painted every room, a desperate, hopeful magic to dispel the heavy gloom. But you're in the grain of hardwood where the sunlight likes to fall. You're the space between the bookcase and the stillness on the wall. I'll be doing something ordinary, pouring morning tea, when a current moves right through me, and I'll know that it was you. Not a haunting out of malice, just a resonance, a trace of a love that left its fingerprint on this ordinary place. 'Cause you're the ghost in the hallway, a whisper in the walls, a scent of rain and cedar in the empty upstairs halls. You're the chill on the staircase, the catch inside my chest, a beautiful, persistent, and quiet kind of unrest. You don't rattle any chains, you don't mean to bring me pain. You're just a habit of the heart in this house where you remain, my ghost in the hallway. Maybe one day I'll stop glancing at the door. Maybe one day the memory won't ache so raw. Maybe the ghost will fade to just a gentle passing thought. But today the hallway's long and the battle's hard fought. I can't exercise a feeling, I can't bless a space to rest, when the phantom I'm still seeing is the one I love the best. So walk your quiet circuit in the moonlight, silver street. I've got a folder on my desktop full of unsent drafts and titles like Hey and I Miss You, remember when? This one's the final draft. I wrote you a novel on a Tuesday night when the rain was painting rivers on the glass. It started with the weather, then it took a sharper light and spun a future from our past. I told you how the coffee shop song made me sway and see your hands around a ceramic mug. I wrote about the peace I feel when I imagine you might say the words that I'm too scared to talk out of my chest and into the air. These are the words I never sent, polished and perfect, raw and rare, on a love and a hope forever spent. They're signed with all my courage, sealed with fear, a paper airplane aimed at the sun. But my hand just freezes year after year, and another beautiful letter is done, another unsent one. I crafted an apology for a fight we didn't have, for wounds I might have caused in other lives. I built a bridge of metaphors to cross the distance that you probably don't even realize. I drafted congratulations for your future bright and new, and a thank you note for every borrowed laugh. I wrote a simple thinking of you, honest and true, then split the whole thing in half. 'Cause they're the words I never said, polished and perfect, raw and rare, on a love and a hope forever spent. They're signed with all my courage, sealed with fear, a paper airplane aimed at the sun. But my hand just freezes year after year, and another beautiful letter is done, another unsent one. And maybe silence is the truest thing I'll ever give to you, not a pretty lie or a promise I can't see through. Maybe this archive of my almost, this museum of my might, is the purest form of love, to love you only in the quiet, to let you be unchallenged by my light. So I'll hit save as in a folder marked someday, and let the cursor blink on a blank page where the words I never sent can just be. a silence roaring in my head. This bed feels like a shoreline, and I'm all that's left. I can still smell the sunscreen on the sheets, a phantom summer, a tropical deceit. You promised me forever was a stretch of endless blue. Now forever's just the space I'm navigating without you. I close my eyes and I'm back on that dock at night, your laugh mixing with the phosphorescent light. You said the sea loved a dreamer, said it loved the brave. Then you turned and became the unforgiving wave. And now there's salt water on my pillow, a high tide in this lonely room. Part the Pacific, part this shallow hurricane of quiet gloom. It's the sea in my eyes, the ache in the deep, a riptide pool in the dark. You are my ocean, vast and sweet. Now you're just the watermark, the salt water on my pillow. I try to blame the moon for its gravitational cheat, for pulling on my heartstrings, dragging me off my feet. I saved every seashell, every piece of smooth blue glass, a museum of a love that was never built to last. The seagull's cry sounds like a warning, sharp and clear. Nothing built on shifting sand can persevere. But I built a castle, darling, with a drawbridge and a key. And I am just the fool who's drowning in the memories 6 feet deep. what's left of me. Maybe I'll learn to breathe this water, make a home inside the swell, or maybe I'm just waiting for the next big wave to finally send me under, so I can stop fighting this hell. Salt water on my pillow, drying to crystal, on my skin. Good night, old anchor. Good night, phantom ship. I'll just lie here and let the ocean have its way. You asked me once, with worry in your eyes, to trace the lines you saw and tell you all the whys. So here's the map of how I learned to shine. This one here, a crescent on my shoulder, came from carrying the weight when I was older than my years should ever ask a kid to be. It's the ghost of responsibilities I couldn't set down free. And this line, a seam across my palm, is from gripping hope too tight through every storm, trying to hold a love that cut me like a shard of glass. A reminder that not everything that's fragile is meant to last. But I'm learning to see them in a different light when the city sleeps and I turn off the fight. In the quiet dark, they start to gleam from fire. My battle scars, they look like stars, constellations of the wars I didn't lose, tattoos of proof for every bruise, a galaxy etched right here upon my skin, a map that shows the places I have been. My battle scars look like stars. This network fine, like cracks around my eyes, all from all the tears I finally learned to cry. of the night I fought and the dawn that I set sail. I am not broken, I am detailed with a sky of my own making. My battle scars, my shining star. Sidewalk shimmers with phantom heat, but I'm pulling on a sweater on my skin-covered seat. Something's out of season deep within. Fireflies are scribbling their lazy golden code on the velvet blanket of the evening road. There's the scent of cut grass and chlorine in the air, a soundtrack of laughter from a porch swing somewhere. But a chill just settled in the hollow of my bones, a silent frost creeping over telephone poles. My heart's a frozen lake beneath the blazing sun, 'cause the summer ended for me the moment you were gone. It's July's winter in my soul, a blizzard where the daisies should unfold. I'm watching beach towels dance on lines so bright, through a pane of my own perpetual night. The world is saturated, bursting at the seams, while I'm stitching back the edges of my shattered dreams. In a season of flip-flops and lemonade stems, I've got snowdrifts piling high in my two empty hands. It's July's winter. They offer me a popsicle, a taste of something sweet, a temporary solace from this unrelenting heat. But my tongue just tastes the static of 1,000 unsaid things. The winter wind that rattles in the space your absence brings. I see the couples holding hands, silhouettes at dusk, two shadows blending into one, a simple loving husk. And I wrap my arms around myself, a poor substitute for the warmth that walked right out and locked my summer door. It's July's winter in my soul, a blizzard where the daisies should unfold. I'm watching beach towels dance on lines so bright, through a pane of my own perpetual night. The world is saturated, bursting at the seams, while feel this way. So let the sun beat down, let the barbecues begin. I'll sit here in my shade, with the winter tucked within. A secret frost in the heart of the bloom. My July, my winter, my room. I washed it twice, but you sank still in the threads, the fabric soft and light, like all the words we never said. Found it balled up in the corner where you tossed it in July, when your love was just a comfort, not a question or a why. It's been my armor on the sofa, through the movies and the rain, a stand-in for your heartbeat to numb a little of the pain. So this is me, returning your borrowed sweatshirt, folded knee, a surrender of my hurt. It's just an old gray cotton, but it held my universe. I'm giving back the heaviest thing I'll ever carry in my purse, your borrowed sweatshirt. Ooh. The cuffs are stretched from fidgeting, the collar's losing shape from all the times I pulled it up, trying my best to escape, trying to hide within the folds from every how have you been, 'cause the answer's in the laundry, with the memories closing in. So this is me, returning your borrowed sweatshirt, folded knee, a surrender of my hurt. It's just an old gray cotton, but it held my universe. I'm giving back the heaviest thing I'll ever carry in my purse, your borrowed sweatshirt. And I know it's just a thing, you probably won't even wear it again, but for me it was a country, a shelter, my best friend to take this hollowed out hoodie, this echo of your skin, and let this be the quiet, simple way that we officially end. My closet's so much bigger now, and so much emptier. Just an old gray borrowed sweatshirt. Just the wax and the wig and me. fight is over, not with shouting, but a silence that still rings. You took your jacket and the echo of all our unfinished things. The door clicked shut with such finality, a soft and ruthless sound. Now there's just this one flame flickering, the only light around. And I'm watching the last candle burning, drowning in its lonely golden sea, counting every second it keeps turning. What's left of you and me? This final fading light, I'm learning, is the only warmth you'll leave. Just me and the last candle burning, till there's nothing left to see. The pool of wax is growing, a translucent amber grave, for all the promises we made that we were too afraid to save. It dances like a memory, a ghost upon the wall, a brief and pretty story that was never true at all. And I'm watching the last candle burning, drowning in its lonely golden sea, counting every second it keeps turning. What's left of you and me? This final fading light, I'm learning, is the only warmth you'll leave. Just me and the last candle burning, till there's nothing left to see. Oh, how foolish to put all my hope in a thing meant to die, to pray to a light that was built to say goodbye. But it listened to my secrets without judging my disgrace, and now it's just a tear of wax running down its own flame. It dips and shivers, desperate final sway. Then a wisp of smoke is all you are, and the night swallows the day. I was putting on my armor, some lipstick and a prayer, when I saw her in the glass just standing there. wasn't in the color of my eyes or the weight within my hair. It was in the way I held my breath and the weight I had to bear. It was in the tired lines that sketched a story I didn't write, a shadow in the morning that I carry through the night. Oh, I see you in my mother's mirror, in the quiet, in the fear. I'm wearing all the same old worries that she wrestled with for years. This gentle, heavy heart I'm hearing is an echo, loud and clear. Oh, I see you in my mother's mirror, and I wish that you weren't here. I heard her voice come through my throat today, a sharp and worried sound, a phrase she used to soften blows before they hit the ground. I traced the map of tension on my shoulders. It's a path she knows too well, a legacy of maybes and a heart too quick to swell. Oh, I see you in my mother's mirror, in the quiet, in the fear. I'm wearing all the same old worries that she wrestled with for years. This gentle, heavy heart I'm hearing is an echo, loud and clear. Oh, I see you in my mother's mirror, and I wish that you weren't here. Did she stand here once like me and watch her mother's ghost appear, and promise she would break the chain and watched it persevere? Am I just a softer copy of a faded, treasured page, rereading all the heartache locked inside a gilded cage? So I'll soften this reflection with the kindness she forgot, and try to love the worried girl with all the fear she's got. I see you in mother's mirror, but maybe that's okay. Maybe seeing you so clearly shows me a brighter way. be fine. station, battling the fears. Then a chime, a vibration, a name from a tomb. My heart does a backflip, then trips in the gloom. Just 3 words and an emoji, a polite little guest. The annual obligatory, I hope that you're blessed. Oh, the happy birthday text, the ghost I love the best. It's a fossil of a feeling, put politely to the test. A conversation graveyard with 1 flower on the stone. The one day of the year I don't feel complete, alone, and completely alone. I read it in the old time font, the one we used to share, before they stopped showing that you were typing over there. I dissect the punctuation, was the exclamation point too bright? Was the K emoji generic or a secret coded light? Do I wait an hour, a minute, or reply right now? Thanks feels too familiar, thank you feels too proud. It's a minefield of subtext in a 5-second exchange, a masterpiece of nothing that I desperately bleed away. Oh, the happy birthday text, the ghost I love the best. It's a fossil of a feeling, put politely to the test. A conversation graveyard with 1 flower on the stone. The one day of the year I don't feel completely alone. The one day, and completely alone. And for a second I'm a fool again. I think this is the year, this is the spark, the opener, the end of all the silence here. I draft a novel in my head of everything I'd say, then I just type back a smiley face and watch it fade away. And now the calendar resets, 364. A silent watch begins again, for a ghost outside my door. Just a name in my contacts, but a date that you'll forget. Till next year's happy birthday. To this text. You didn't slam the door, you didn't scream or shout. The quiet was so violent as you turned the key and pulled us out. My words are still suspended in the air between our seats, condensing on the window to the rhythm of your heartbeats. The streetlights paint a judgment on your knuckles clenched in white. You turn the wheel like you're escaping from the scene of your own crime. And I'm holding my breath, holding my tongue, holding on to nothing, waiting for the storm to come. But the thunder's in the silence, question mark and fog. You just stare straight ahead, navigating through the smog. And the miles are just numbers, the road is just a lie. We're not going anywhere, we're just waiting out the die. Another exit passes, another bridge we burn, and for the 100th time tonight, the lesson goes unlearned. The click of your seatbelt locking into place, the final punctuation on the fury in your face. You turn the radio to static, a volume meant to drown every single syllable before it hits the ground. Oh, that click is a coffin nail, a verdict and a trick, the sound of you deciding that you're done with it. That seatbelt click. And I wonder if the problem is the things we choose to say, or the deafening quiet we cultivate day after day. This car's become a courtroom and a church and a cage, where we worship our own righteousness and bury all our rage. With the click, with the click. The engine cuts, the garage is dark and still. You unbuckle first and you always will. My own clasp echoes yours, a weak, pathetic sound, just two separate people on the same lost ground. I can't recall the timbre of your voice on Tuesday afternoons. But I remember all the definitions you gave to half the words in this room. Home was never four walls, but the space between your laugh and mine, a shaky rented promise we were building over time. Future was a color, a specific shade of blue. It was the shape your mouth made, saying, I can't wait to. Now the words are just words again. I'm left here with a dictionary of you, every common phrase a ghost I can't work through. I'm fine means I'm not sleeping, the weather means I'm sad, and I'll be there in 5 is the worst lie I ever had. Oh, the world's so loud and empty in this tongue I can't unlearn. Every sentence is a footnote on the pages that I burn in my dictionary of you. Rain is not just weather now, it's the smell of your old coat. Coffee is a silent pot, a catch inside my throat. And sorry lost its meaning when you used it as a knife, a polite and polished weapon to dismantle a whole life. Now the words are just wounds again. I'm left here with a dictionary of you, every common phrase a ghost I can't work through. I'm fine means I'm not sleeping, the weather means I'm sad, and I'll be there in 5 is the worst lie I ever had. Oh, the world's so loud and empty in this tongue I can't unlearn. Every sentence is a footnote on the pages that I burn in my dictionary of you. Do you have a copy too, on some forgotten shelf, with entries for my silence, definitions of myself? Or did you just return it to some universal store and learn to speak a simpler language, one that doesn't hurt anymore? So I'll try to speak in pictures, I'll try to point and show, but everything I point to has a name you helped me know. I'm forgetting, I'm forgetting. But the lexicon remains just a book of faded poetry written in your name. Box of matches from the restaurant, your favorite pen that's out of ink. It's not goodbye, it's just a little rearranging, I think. The first shelf is for living, for the coffee and the keys, for all the things you reach for in the morning breeze. But your side of the medicine cabinet's painfully clean, so I start my gentle sorting of what us was supposed to mean. And I move you to the second shelf down, where the light is a little dimmer in this town. From every day to someday maybe, from right now to a soft remember when. It's a quiet, dusty demotion, letting go without the ocean. Yeah, I'm building you a museum with a whisper ticket stub, a broken hair tie, a rock you thought was fair. A life measured in fragments and the dust that gathers there. I don't box it up for throwing, I don't hide it out of sight. I just grant it a bit of distance, a less insistent light. And I move you to the second shelf down, where the light is a little dimmer in this town. From every day, someday maybe, from right now to a soft remember when. It's a quiet, dusty demotion, a letting go without the ocean. Yeah, I'm building you a museum with a whisper, not a sound, on the second shelf down. And maybe in a year my hand will graze it by mistake, and for a dizzy second all the old foundations shake. Will I smile or will I crumble? Will I leave it or resort this archaeology of us that's become my only sport? So here's your shelf, a curated, careful space, a monument to ordinary grace. Not in the attic, not quite on the floor, just a little less present than you were before. Just a little less present than you were before.
Draft subject, no subject, just a ghost of a thought you'll never get. I write you letters in the notes app on a Tuesday afternoon, a stream of consciousness confession, half a hopeful, half a wound. I detail how the coffee shop remodeled, how it lost our favorite chair, and how I sat there anyway and pretended you were there. I didn't send it. My thumb hovers on your contact like a storm cloud overhead, a gallery of every loving, angry, stupid thing left unsaid. I type a joke, then backspace out the risk it might not land. This conversation's just a monologue I'm playing with one hand. This is my auto reply to the silence that you gave, 1,000 little messages I've drafted and I've saved in the archives of my longing, in the cloud of my regret. They're all addressed to you but marked not delivered yet. Oh, I'm an author with no reader and a story with no end, just a see message notification I'll never have to send. My record a voice memo on a midnight drive, just slurring out your name. It's raw and real and ugly, so I'll carry it with shame. I type, are you okay? And then I change it to, the weather's been so strange, condensing all my hurricanes to something you can't rearrange. I didn't send it. I watch the last active timestamp like a scientist with data, looking for a pattern in the digital strata. The blue ticks never come, but in my mind you've read it twice and crafted the perfect answer that would somehow make it nice. This is my auto-reply to the silence that you gave. 1,000 little messages I've drafted and I've saved in the archives of my longing, in the cloud of my regret. They're all addressed to you, but marked not delivered yet. Oh, I'm an author with no reader and a story with no end, just a C message notification. I'll never have to send my auto. Is this grief or just a habit? Is it love or just the need to feel a thread still connecting, even if it's guaranteed to bleed? 'Cause the send button's a cliff edge and the draft folder is the ledge, and I'm just building castles in the air, right on the edge of letting go. I'll delete them all tomorrow, or maybe save them as a PDF, a digital graveyard of the girl I used to be when I still had you to talk to. And doctor said the feeling fades, the nerves they just forget. But mine are wide awake and screaming for a shadow they can't get. I reach across the mattress in the blue for dawn gray. My hand finds only cold sheets and the debt I have to pay for letting you get woven in the muscle and the bone, so deep that when you left a hollow of your own. I go to tell you something, turn my head to speak the thought, and get a rushing, howling silence where your answer always caught. I got a ghost limb where you used to be, a phantom weight my body won't set free. I scratch an itch on air, I feel a pain that isn't real, just the echo of a touch my emptiness can feel. Oh, this circuitry is broken, but it fires and it yearns for a shape it memorized, a warmth it never unlearns. Yeah, I'm aching with a ghost limb where you used to be. I set the table automatic, 2 plates, 2 forks, 2 cups, and stare at the vacancy until the coffee cooling up reminds me that the ritual is just a hollow act, a pantomime of us
They say the pain is just a memory the mind can't accept the severed. But what if it's the opposite? What if it's proof, however? Something that was joined that deeply does never fully part. That you're still a piece of me, just in a different chart. This ache isn't a malfunction, it's a landmark, it's a trace of a country I still live in, though it's gone without a face. So I'll carry this phantom, this invisible scar. The most real thing about me is what isn't here anymore. My ghost, my ghost wing.
The sky is a perfect painted blue, not a single cloud to blame it on. The whole world got the memo, except for me. Music slaying some cliche song just outside my pain, the kind of day we'd call a gift and beg to go and waste. I drag myself onto the porch, the sun a warm embrace that feels like a stranger's touch upon my aching face. I force a smile back at the neighbor. Lovely day, she sighs, and I nod like an accomplice with a storm behind my eyes. It's good enough weather for picnics and parades, for lemonade and laughter in the dappled light and shade. It's good enough weather for everyone but me, 'cause my internal forecast is a cold gray endless sea. And the sun feels like an insult, and the breeze feels like a lie on this good enough to perfect, devastatingly blue sky day. I see the couples holding hands, the kids on sprinkler runs, a universe of simple joy beneath dual yellow suns. I should feel a spark of something, a thaw, a grateful breath, but I just feel the ghost of you, a chilling kind of death. This golden, gorgeous afternoon is just a gilded frame around the hollow portrait where